Okay, woke up in Charlotte. We are at Panthers camp. The energy is amazing. It's the first time it's ever been in Charlotte. So fans, families, there's kids. There's a guy drinking beer at 9 in the morning. There's a lot to love about this team. I'm going to get to hang out with Luke Kuechly, who we should have shot the cold open with, but that's okay. We're also going to have Deontay Johnson on the show. Pro Bowl, All-Pro. Wide receiver 1, top 5 receiver this year. The chemistry with him and Bryce Young, who will also be on their show, has been popping off the charts. Ow, I think I just hit my knee. That's okay. And this is some sort of a drum, as we also will welcome in Dave Canales and Dan Morgan, first-time head coach, first-time GM. Sir, teach me the ways of this. I'd like to get some reps. I know I'm in training camp. I'll be here tomorrow to try to get better, but teach me.
All you got to do is hit it 4 times, 1 for each quarter. I'll get out your way. Here you go. 4 times. As loud as you can.
What's the cadence?
At your rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you got to yell, let's go.
Let's go! All right, I'm here with Bryce Young, the quarterback of the Panthers. So, of course, I want to talk about the Lakers. I hear you're a big Lakers fan. Listen, this team has done nothing but support you, bringing in some O-line help. We got Deontay Johnson. The Lakers are doing nothing. If you're the GM of the Lakers, Bryce Young, what are you doing?
That is far from my realm of expertise. I definitely wouldn't know what to do, but I'm happy about it. I'm a Laker fan. Honestly, I liked our squad from last year. I thought it was good. We get some more time together, so I'm excited.
Are you watching any hoops at night when you finally get to just relax from camp? Are you watching any Team USA?
Yeah, definitely. I haven't been able to watch as much just because we've been here, but I forgot what game. I think it was it might have been the first one, Serbia, where it was an off day that I actually got to watch, so it was fun.
Was it fun? It was a blowout. Was it really? They just ran through everybody.
Yeah, but I definitely love the support.
What do we want to ask about Bronny? I don't know is there a Bronny question that we need to ask? What would it be, Hamilton? Do we like Bronny? Where are we at on Bronny?
Yeah, I'm excited for him. I'm super happy for him. That's such a cool, LeBron and Bron be able to play together. That's really cool. I'm excited. I'm excited for him.
As a fan, what's one move you want them to make?
I don't know if there's anything we can do right now, free agency-wise. Like I said, we always are shuffling every year. We're full roster switches.
Yeah.
So, I'm not mad at us for once trying to run it back, keep the same lineup, see if we can build some chemistry. This turned to a basketball interview really quickly, but that's I'm cool with it.
I guess we should talk about football.
I guess if it's.
I feel like you talk about football all day.
It is a very accurate assessment.
Okay, you had practice out here today, ups and downs. Y'all are growing every day. I want to talk about you as a man, as a leader. I sat with your coach. He used the word timely, which he's obsessed with time, so it makes sense, and that's a huge compliment to you. He says that you make statements, or you know when the moment is, and you make a timely leadership comment. What does that mean?
Yeah, for me, kind of my leadership style and something I definitely try to embody every day is, one, to lead by example and be consistent in doing the right thing. And then after that, make sure I'm whatever the team needs. Mm-hmm. I feel like as a leader, it's my job if that is to be more rah-rah one day, it's to do that and step up to do that. If it's to be more of the calm, if things are maybe too high paced and going too fast, and to calm things down, settle people down, then it's to do that. And I think as a leader, it's my job to assess what the team needs and then, kind of spring into action. So
you can catch the vibe of what is needed?
That's definitely what I pride myself in,
That's
and
awesome.
Just like in everything, I'm trying to work to be the best version of myself so I can improve in leadership, improve on the field, everything, but that's definitely something I try to embody.
What's one thing you're finding yourself saying over and over? You don't speak, when you are vocal, what's the one thing in this camp that you're saying over and over?
Making sure that it's about us. In camp, it's very offense versus defense. Throughout the season, it's whoever you're playing that week, or obviously there's media and there's outside factors, whatever it may be. But I think for me, a big thing is making sure the narrative is about us, making sure that we're talking about things and controlling things we can control, making sure we're doing something versus trying not to let something happen to us. So that's definitely something I try to be consistent about.
Deontay Johnson and I've seen you just in this area, and there's just a smile that happens. There's some sort of like dapping up, and it's from 10 feet on in, and you guys are out there crushing it. You were threading every needle. You were having this amazing camp, and you're hitting him a lot. Canales likes featuring a guy. He said, Johnson, what's the deal with the chemistry?
Yeah, with him being new here, we both are on that. We want to get on the same page as quickly as possible, and that was something that when he first got signed, we first talked about, and throughout OTAs, and then through now, it's obviously we get all these reps and we're being able to come in and communicate and talk through them, but also building off the field, whether it's, talking football or talking life, and that's with him and with everyone. There's always going to be a part of things on the field that, you want to be as close to and know we're on the same page, but also the more that you can be close off the field, the more that you can build that rapport, build trust. That's with him, that's with everyone on the offense, everyone on the team. It goes a long way. It'll show on Sundays. You want to it's not just, we're not like a 9-to-5 profession. It goes deeper than that.
So what does the 5 to 9 look like here in Charlotte? I mean, you guys aren't in Spartanburg anymore, so y'all aren't in the same dorm room. How are you building chemistry with Deontay off the field?
Yeah, being able to, in the same thing, whether it's, at someone's place or going somewhere to eat or just on the phone or whatever it may be, some of those conversations, and again, not just with him, with other guys too, some of those conversations are about football and about, hey, on this route, how do we feel on this? And some of those conversations have nothing to do with that, and it's just getting to know each other. And again, I think also that's a big thing that I believe in as a leader is, I don't believe in, I don't think it's really fair to go and try to command people you don't know. I think it's, as a leader, it's our job to make sure we build that rapport, we build a connection first, and then, you can only lead as well as, you have that connection with people. So, that's part of it, and I'm grateful that, Deontay and a lot of the other guys are on that same page of wanting to build outside of the field, outside the building, and we know that it's going to translate.
And it's a lot of other guys. You have a deep wide receiver room. It's incredible. I'm very excited. Mingo's crushing it in camp. He's been a star. Terrence, everybody, obviously Thielen, the veteran in the group. Deontay's sort of fascinating to me because there's nothing I hate more in this business, and I've worked in it a long time, than people not wanting to let narratives change. You get labeled something, and that's just what you are. And that happens a lot in our business. I think a lot of people hear the name Deontay Johnson, and the first thing they think is drops, Steelers, whatever. You tell me that what you see when you hang out with, and let's not even talk about the leadership man stuff, out there catching those balls.
Yeah, I see a competitor on the field, someone who wants to win every rep, wants to win every detail, win every practice, win in the meeting room, someone who cares deeply. And, having that fire is something you can't teach. If it doesn't mean that much, or it's just something that whatever, I got paid or whatever, I just looking for a contract or whatever, you can tell, and it is what it is. But with Deontay, you definitely can see that passion. We can do one-on-ones in day 8 of camp when it's 90 and humid out here, wanting to win every single rep. And again, that's something you can't teach, and I'm grateful for that as a competitor myself, knowing that no detail is too small. There's nothing that's not worth it. There's never a time where it's whatever. Like I don't even want to. I don't feel like it. I don't want to. And I think that's something that is huge for us as a culture. And from him and from everyone, we're demanding the best from ourselves and the best from each other and holding each other accountable. And him doing that by how he works every day, it speaks volumes to who he is.
How often are you hearing from Steve Smith?
He's out here a lot, which we really appreciate.
Of course.
You have a legend like that with all that knowledge, all that experience. For him to come back as often as he does, talking with the receivers, talking with me, I'm talking with everyone on the offensive side and with the team. Obviously, they had a lot of success. He had a lot of success, so he knows what it looks like. And he's not just here, kissing babies and just to show face. He's there to really help. And he has a relationship with, you ask all the receivers, they all have a relationship with him.
He's the best.
Exactly.
He's
he really cares.
One of my favorite players growing up.
Yeah, so it's great to have him around.
Yeah, I love that. And you've got Kuechly, you've got Greg Olsen. I mean, the things that the team did to surround you, to hopefully make you feel supported, and I can tell that you do. Your confidence level, wherever it was last year, is it more now or less than it was last year?
Yeah, I'm definitely, I think you definitely grow into your own, and, obviously I'm going into a situation that is a lot more familiar. At this time last year, I was confident, but I didn't know what it was to expect. I hadn't played a game at this point last year. And, now I have a season under my belt, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that experience. I'm definitely confident in this group. I'm confident in the team and the coaching staff and the organization, myself. So I'm excited for that to come into fruition. And then, that's part of it. And then, now we got to do everything so that we can execute. And
have progress, and that's all it's about. It's about growing every day, which you guys are doing out here. Cam Newton. What are the conversations like with him? Yeah,
in the same way, someone who cares. We've had a good amount of conversations, and has always tried to give me advice and always tried to help.
Hold on. What is the advice coming from Cam Newton?
I can't share everything.
Give me one thing you can definitely share. I know he's not just talking to you for 1 minute. It's probably a lot. So what is one piece of advice that he's giving you?
He's just big on consistency and how I come into the building, how he, and obviously there's a lot of people that were here while he was here. And, it's also, I have verification on it. Everyone kind of already talked to me about it before, and hearing him talk about it from his perspective, just about being consistent being a consistent leader, being consistent in how you walk to the building. And, he's been there. We've all been there in the quarterback position where it's not always the easiest. We're human, and, there's ups and downs, but making sure you walk to the building, walk to the practice field, and you're that same person. That was one of the things that he shared with me that I really appreciated.
Love that. And as far as this year, you're feeling great. You're going into this. All these fans are here in Charlotte. Maybe just expectations, what fans can expect from you this year out of their dedicated QB1.
Yeah, just expect me to give my all. I'm so blessed to be in the situation I am. I'm grateful for where I am. I'm grateful for the fans. I'm grateful for the organization, for everything, and I definitely don't take the support for granted. So I'm going to make sure that I give my all. I'm doing everything I can. I'm always working, and again, just every Sunday for me to give it everything I have.
Yeah, including off-schedule throws, which I keep seeing out here. What's that about? Are you
Yeah.
enjoying that?
Yeah, that's
You let it rip a little bit.
Yeah, that's part of who I am and part of who this system
Yes.
encourages. I want to pride myself in making sure that I can carry out the system. And, in times it's football. As a quarterback, you got to move. You got to make sure that, whatever it may be, there's always going to be movements and variables. But I want to make sure that I'm as true to my reads, to the system as possible. And some of those come with some off-platform throws. And, they're all within the scheme of the system. And, I'm grateful for the stuff that we do on
Sounds like
offense.
Coach is letting you be who you are.
Yeah, and
Love it.
I really appreciate it.
I love this for you. Thank you for your time. Good luck this year. And we're looking forward to what the Panthers can do as they continue to grow, and they've got their quarterback to make it happen. We'll be back after this from Charlotte at training camp with the best fans in the business. There they are. We'll be back after this on Up and Adams. All right, I'm here with brand new Panther. This colors work for you, Juice. It looks good. How you feeling?
Feeling good. Excited to be here. Just taking one day at a time. Getting a feel for the offense and just trying to turn things around here.
You have a lot of energy. You ran over. You just had a crazy practice. How much does smoking these DBs, like I'm hearing that you're doing, add to the juice this year?
Just coming out here competing every day with the best. J.C. Horn and Dane Jackson, we getting great work out there. And just being able, like I said, going up against those two, just bringing the best out of me.
Yeah. That's nice of you to say about some corners.
Yeah.
I feel like, are they being slept on a little bit?
Yeah, because obviously the record that we had last year and whatnot, but it's a new year, so we steady building and trying to turn things around, and I'm looking forward to the season.
You have sort of the benefit of experience of seeing how other organizations are run. This one going through a big culture change. I talked to Dan Morgan, who loves you. I talked to Dave Canales, who loves you. Luke Kuechly, who loves you. What would you say you're bringing to the culture of the Panthers?
A guy that gets open, a guy that's hungry, that loves to win, that just loves the game, and just to compete every day and just try to get better. So, and I'm hoping like my work does the talking for itself, and everybody sees the work and wants to rally around that. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, my work is going to do the talking and just go out there and be my best version of me.
What's working so well between you and Bryce?
We just click,
I can.
We click.
What do you mean?
Once I got here, we click instantly. Like we known each other for a long time, and we study the playbook, hang out a lot, just trying to get to know each other. You know what I'm saying? So, and that once you get on the field and the connection, it just happens because you know what I'm saying. You building that connection, the timing when it comes to football, and it just shows that he can trust me out there. So that's what I'm enjoying. Like I say, the sky's the limit for Bryce, and I'm out here to make him better.
With this world that we're in the NFL, it's like a world of labels. People get labeled real quick out the gate. They're this, they're that. Bryce already has a label. He hasn't even done anything. He's a young kid. Yeah. Do you think that sheds this year? Are the changes that were made bringing you in, different leadership, is it enough to sort of shed any label that somebody thinks they might have about this quarterback?
Everybody going to have something to say about somebody, but it's just how you respond to it, and you know what I'm saying, put your best foot forward. You know what I'm saying, when you hear stuff like that about, you know what I'm saying, your quarterback or whatever. But I'm glad they brought me here to help change things and bring the best out of him. And I feel like the new guys that they brought in, guys that know what it takes to win and to bring that attitude every day is going to help him and the team and get everything going in the right direction. So just those guys and, you know what I'm saying, the guys that knows, like, how to win shows you, like, what it takes. And, like I say, you bring that energy here, everybody wants to be a part of that, you know, experience that.
Sounds like you're a leader on this team.
I'm trying to be, you know, I'm not really a big talker. I like to let my work do the talking for itself. So I'm trying to open up more and just bring more energy than I did before.
How much of that has to do with your coach? He's a big energy guy. I just sitting next to him, I'm like, how much coffee have you had? He's unbelievable.
I feel like that's just him naturally. And that
Does
makes
it affect you? Yeah.
No, it makes you want to, you know what I'm saying, bring the best out of you and bring that your best attitude. He harps on that, bring that your best attitude, energy, and just to compete every day. And like when he gives you those messages in the team meeting, it makes you want to go out there and play for a coach like that. So.
He said something about the ball has energy. That he said something about how the ball has energy, and that somebody can catch the energy and keep it going. Has he talked about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, the ball has energy. I mean, I say just wherever the energy flows, you follow that because you want to follow the good energy, obviously not the bad. So, like, just when somebody make a play or whatever, that shows, like, anybody else can do the same thing. And I'm trying to do that whenever the ball get in my hands. The next guy going to make a play. So just little stuff like that.
What's different about you here? I feel there's like a levity, maybe like a sense of belonging. Is it any different, or are you just everything's standard issue?
Just the love that they showing. Like, once I got here, I felt the love instantly. Now that I feel wanted, you know what I'm saying? Not that I was saying, like, Pittsburgh that was at, I didn't feel like
of
that,
course.
but, like, I just feel like wanted here, and like they wrapping their arms around me, and I'm excited to be here. I couldn't ask for nothing better, the position to be in right now, just to have that leadership role and just to have the younger guys look up to me and, like, learn from me, and I can pass down anything that they need help with, and I'm making the most of it.
Take me inside that wide receiver room, because you're basically saying you're an old head, which is crazy. But really, but you got Mingo, who's having an insane camp too.
Yeah.
But then you got the real old head and Adam Thielen. What's the dynamic in there?
Like I said, you got Mingo who's learning, you got Terrence, DT, D-Moore, and obviously Adam, who's the old head of the group. Like, Adam brings that leadership, you know what I'm saying? He's good at one thing, I'm good at the next. Like, it's nothing like, I said, whenever he speaks, everybody's antennas goes up because he always has, like, valid points when he talks, and you need a guy like that around to just be that leader, have that leadership role and, like, control the group when everything, like, gets out of control or whatnot. And I feel like my job is just to lead by example when it comes to, like, on the field stuff. Like, that's just me personally. Like I said, I'm not a big talker, but I just like to show the guys, like, what to do on the field and how to get open, and just lead for the younger group, the younger guys and whatnot. And like I said, I love learning from Adam. Like I said, he's a great help, a mentor to me right now. That's why I would say he's a mentor to me, and just learning from me each and every day is a blessing.
When you left the Steelers, you get here, you obviously, it's new energy. How would you describe that? Is it like a fresh start? Because people want to think, just like labels are shed on everybody, they have them on you. So what is that? How does that impact you?
It don't impact me in a negative way. I mean, it just allows me to just keep going and just to keep working, because you can get better at every day. Just because, like I say, somebody put a label on you or say something about you doesn't mean, like, you're supposed to let it affect you. So I just use it as fuel, and I go out here and attack the day every day.
What do you think the story of this team is going to be this year?
I don't really know, to be honest. I mean, we still got some work to do, but obviously we trying to turn things around here. But I feel like this year is going to be obviously better than last year because it's a new team, a bunch of new guys, and we still, like, building each and every day. And I can't wait to see, like, what we do come the first game.
Coach was saying, I wanted to ask him maybe what's the identity of this team, and I think he doesn't know yet. I think you're still very much in the process of figuring out what is that like to not know exactly what you have here yet.
It's not tough, but it's like
It's gotta be different because you go. I was
very,
in Latrobe, and it's like everything has its place.
Yeah.
This is
it's very different because I mean they had that one year they went to the Super. We had the one year we went to the Super Bowl here. I think it was 2015.
Yeah,
I think
Cam.
Yeah, when Cam was here, but obviously they're trying to get back to that type of team. So they brought in guys that knows how to win and knows what it takes. So hopefully we can get this thing moving in the right direction this year, and the guys that they brought in can show everybody like what it takes, and the rest of the guys can follow.
There's some people who think Bryce isn't the quarterback. Fans, pundits, whatever.
Yeah.
Are the questions still out there? Do we have our guy?
Yes, Bryce is our guy. I mean, he's still young, but he's steady growing each and every day. But you can't put stuff over his head just because the team didn't have a good year. I mean, it's a lot of stuff that goes into that. At the end of the day, we can only control what we can control and worry about what's going on in the locker room, and just keep rallying around him and keep making him better.
You're a favorite here, I gotta say. I was hanging out with the fans. I watched practice. I find practice kind of boring, so I just like to talk to the fans. And I went in there, and everyone wanted your autograph. Everyone's saying, "I can't wait to see how does Deontay look? How does Johnson look?" That has to feel amazing. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, for sure it does. Like, shows that my aura. I have a good aura
Yeah,
about
you do have a good aura. Aura 5000 for sure.
And like my work speaks for itself.
Yeah.
So I just want to bring that energy to the team and just keep competing and turn this thing around and get this, you know what I'm saying, get some wins.
Yeah. Last one for you. Off-schedule throws from Bryce. I'm seeing him more. Looks good. Do you enjoy that?
Oh, yeah, easily, because you never know when he's going to break the pocket. There's a good opportunity to make a play down the field when the pocket breaks down and whatnot. Those are the catches you want.
Yeah.
The yak and those yards that you want after the catch or whatever. But like I said, we just steady building on those and looking for the explosive plays.
Okay, keep the aura going. Keep your confidence in yourself and your quarterback, who you clearly are mentoring in some weird way too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. I can't tell, because I still feel like, I don't know, I can't tell where you are in your journey, but I know that you're in the right place.
Right. I feel like I'm in the right place.
Yeah.
But who knows? We'll see.
We'll see. Thank you,
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson. I have Luke Kuechly to my right, and then also, of course, Coach Dave Canales, nice enough to spend some time with us. You were early. You're a timing guy. How is it going so far? And I'm just going to let you two geek out over the crunching of the grass and the orientation of the field. Go for it.
It's going great. I mean, yesterday was our best practice by far. I'm looking for a feel. I'm looking for the energy, the finish of plays. I'm looking for the intention on the football. So all those things really showed up yesterday. It was a really physical practice. I loved it. Today's a great opportunity for the guys to show if they can bounce back. Bring it again. Every time we get an op, we get on the grass, we got to bring the juice every day. So step in the right direction.
Good. I think I come out here and I love, this is my favorite time of the year to figure out what your team's going to be like. What are the new guys like? I was telling Kay the grass is phenomenal. I hear they just redid the back portion of the practice field here, and it's unbelievable. And this time of the year, I always thought about, am I going to be able to play football again? Am I going to remember how to do it? That first game of the regular season, I was always really nervous. So as a coach, do you feel like, man, I hope I can coach. I hope I can call plays. I think it's all fun and games until the first regular season. So before that first game, kind of how do you feel?
I feel great.
Yeah.
I feel great about our system. You know, we're in really good hands on the defensive side with Avero, and he's done a great job of putting our guys in position, really trying to accentuate some of the talent that we have on that side, package-wise. And then, for us on the offense, I got a bunch of guys I've worked with. I've got about 5 guys on the offensive side who knows this system, so it really feels like we're pushing along schematically at the pace that I like. So I feel really confident with that. We've gotten some great call-it periods, to just keep getting those reps. First time calling plays was last year, you know what I mean? So for me, those opportunities are so important. But again, I'm looking for the feel of it, and as much as I want the mental errors and all those things to be at a minimum, I'm looking for how we do it, how we play, because as you know, Luke, that's where you set the tone of who we're going to be, and the players uphold that standard as we lay it out there for them.
We're talking about what you're looking for. Last time the three of us were together months ago, you kept saying this one thing over and over again: I want to get the football right.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're there. It sounds like you're there, and we're not even done with camp. You got a big preseason game coming up.
Yeah.
Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Making some insane off-schedule stuff happen back here. You are a timing guy. How do you balance his instincts, what he's great at naturally, and obviously wanting to script it for him?
Yeah, great. So that's built in. That's muscle memory as well, right? So here's how much time you have, and then you got to go. We will be more decisive. We'll train our receivers. Deontay Johnson's fantastic. It's every day, 2 or 3 times a day. The play extends, and he's the first one that gets open We use a term, we say the ball finds energy here, and it's very similar to basketball. Who breaks the hoop with that aggressive juice, and all of a sudden just catches the eye of the guy who's got the ball, So we're drilling that part into it as well, because as we know, you're not going to have perfect pockets every time, and he's done a great job of knowing when I got to go. You got 1-2 to the check down, I'm moving to the third, and that's where he's created some of those plays this camp.
He's had an impressive camp, Luke. Bryce.
He has. Well, I think you talk about that off-schedule stuff, and I remember when you were in Seattle, we used to play you guys, and everything would be great, and then Russ would break the pocket, and it always seemed like Tyler Lockett was that guy that Russ found, and they just had such a great feel, and I don't know if Bryce could be that same way with Deontay Johnson. It just puts so much pressure on the defense, and I quite frankly think that it gives you something else to practice for on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm excited. I love watching the team, and you watch all these guys from afar. But my question kind of is, some of these young receivers that we've tried to develop the last couple of years, Mingo, big, strong, physical, Terrace Marshall, same way. What have you seen from those guys this training camp that gives you some energy moving forward?
This is an exciting room. The guys that are all in that conversation you talked about, Terrace Marshall, Jonathan Mingo, they're having great camps. They look big and they look fast, and that's what they are. We know we're putting him in the right position. We know that they understand what we're doing because their size and speed shows up. Where you see guys not play to their potential, it's usually there's some uncertainty. I see really confident guys who know what they're doing, and so it's showing up. Amir Smith-Marset, another guy who's made plays every day. A guy who's a dynamic punt returner. You got David Moore, who I've known forever. We drafted him way back in Seattle. Then I had him again in Tampa. We brought in Devin Tompkins, as a kick returner, just another juice guy. He's like lightning in a bottle. So there's a bunch of guys in that receiver room that really see this opportunity, to be able to take advantage of it, and so I'm really excited about that room.
You're the first to admit you like to feature a player, though. You're saying this ball catches energy. Who has the most energy right now?
Yeah.
Is Mingo's he's a star right now.
Yeah, he's doing fantastic. Deontay.
Yeah.
Deontay just, he works on his craft all the time. So in rhythm, routes, setting things up, releases, all that stuff. He's an absolute pro, but then it's the extension of the play where he really separates himself, and it's great to just show those examples to some of the younger players. If you want this ball, have a feel for the first route and then the second route. And we talk about that a lot, and again, like you said, Luke, it trains everybody. The O-line's got to know when to disengage. The defensive line has to know, I gotta keep the quarterback in contain here. The secondary and the linebackers, we got to plaster. We got to find work in our zones and just stick to it, and it makes everybody work. It's a conditioning thing as well. So really happy with where we're going there, but I'd love to see more of that happen just when it comes up.
I want to know, like the next day, Friday morning, you guys take on the Pats on Thursday. Whose name is trending? And I don't know who's getting action, who's playing the most, but who's in your estimation, how you're mapping it out, whose name will be trending on this Panthers team?
Yeah, so for sure we're going to run the ball, a bunch. So I'd love to see our running backs kind of emerge. One of the guys that's been exciting to watch this camp is Raheem Blackshear. He's been fantastic on the kickoff returns with the new rule and all that. He just seems to have a feel for how to set those things up. So looking for great things from him. Looking for some pass rush opportunities. DJ Johnson, this is a big year for him, being able to take the next step in his career. So really trying to, see what he can bring to us. Kaylavon Chason came to us from Jacksonville. First round pick all those years ago. This is a guy who's got a hunger to him right now. He's got a focus and a look to him. So really looking to see what he can do. And then we have a fantastic corner battle just going on, with Deshaun Jameson, DiCaprio Boodle in that mix, Lamar Jackson. These are guys. We just signed Anthony Brown. So this is a group of guys that we're really evaluating to see who can help us long term. Offensive line-wise, Chandler Zavala is a guy that I really want to see just continue to take strides. He's shown power. He's shown like he's growing in terms of his understanding of the ball. And so really, I think those are some of the top guys that I want to talk about. Just really, really excited to see what they can bring to us.
You going to get out there?
I'm sweating so bad right now. I don't know.
You really are.
I tell you what,
so fun to watch.
Spartanburg is hot. It's still hot here in Charlotte. I come in here and look at it. It just makes me so excited. It brings me back. You see all the guys that you're here. So I wish I could still play. But
there you go.
The one thing, here we go. Awesome. I feel a little better. But when I come out here and see, especially this year, the size of the guys on our team. We got big up front. We got big at running back. I know Jonathan Brooks is banged up, but he's big. He's got a big presence. Xavier Legette, big. Talked about the receivers, big. Ashawn Robinson on the defense side of the ball, big. I just think that our team is big and it's physical, and I'm sure that's something you guys tried to do on purpose this offseason.
Absolutely. And I think you make it hard on teams when you can play the run well and you can run the ball. You really force teams to throw it. And then if you have to throw the ball a bunch, a lot of things can happen. You got sack fumbles, you got interceptions. You know, the timing and rhythm of the pass game is really difficult to execute consistently. We know there's teams out there that kind of feature the pass, you know. But any team, you know, if you want to have success long term in this league, you want to win late into the season, you got to be able to run the ball and you got to be able to stop the run. You know, Luke, there's nothing worse than going into that game and you just can't stop the run. It feels like you're getting pushy. Your defenses were huge up front, and you guys had a star linebacker core with UTD and Shaq, you know, and so the teams that were built that way were trying to do that, you know, and trying to make a team play a certain way that'll fit in, that'll be in our favor.
You have this like run through a wall mentality. Every time I could just listen to you for hours. I know you have to run, but I want to ask about you and how you're enjoying your first camp. It's the first one in Charlotte. Lots of fans, they're excited fans who never got to go and experience it. And, you know, I'm thinking of how I've heard you described. Like Baker has told me and told everyone you're an optimistic bully. I would like to know, when I talk to Johnson today, when I talk to some of these players, how are they going to describe you to me?
Hopefully they describe me as just connecting. You know, I try to be intentional about where I'm at in the hallways, between meetings, passing through, before practice. I just want to get that one touch. I want to get that pound, the handshake. Some guys love to hug. I'm in. I love that.
Who's the hugger?
And, oh, shoot. They're all, it just depends on the day. You know, I can tell, though, because they're either like, I'm feeling like this today.
Yeah.
Or it's like this. And then if I see the high hand, it's like we're going in for the real thing. This is great. So hopefully they would say that. Hopefully they would say that, you know, I'm pushing them to throw this practice the way we want it, pushing them on the energy of the deal. And I think just, you know, waking up every day and just with gratitude and trying to remind the guys, look how amazing this is. Look at this place. Look at this opportunity that we have, and to remind them that it's all of us, and the greatest respect that we can bring to each other is to bring your best, because it makes everyone better. And as we go to our games, all these games matter. If you're to tell me preseason 1 doesn't matter to the guys that are just on the cusp of maybe making this roster or not, you'd be crazy. I know how much this matters to them, and I'm just trying to point focus to it and heighten that experience for them so that everything we do matters and everything counts.
Last one for you now. Bryce Young, I'm also hearing, is being a bit more vocal.
Yeah.
This year, what is that all about?
One thing that I've been pleasantly surprised with Bryce, because I didn't know him from before, is he's timely in the words that he shares.
Okay.
He just knows when to bring the guys together. He goes around after drills and he talks to specific guys and they're working through stuff. Austin Corbett, or he's with Deontay a lot, you know, and he and Adam already have a pretty good rapport, you know. And then when he feels like he's got to talk to the group, it's not all the time, but it feels timely, and generally his message is on point. I think at this point he's still refining his messages and how he says things, but it's like he said the right thing. Like, this is a great moment. He felt the moment, he addressed it, and then there was progress afterwards, you know. And it happened to be our first drill yesterday after team run. The defense absolutely got after us, and after that first rack of a couple of plays, he brought the offense together. He was very stern about what he said, and he was like, guys, in so many words, we got to refocus here and we got to get our stuff right. And it was just great to feel that energy and to see the guys respond to him, because they felt it. They knew it was true. It wasn't like, oh, what is he saying? This is off, you know, off base. So that's been really cool to see from him.
Luke, let's go. This sounds amazing. I'm trying to think, what, can we poke a hole in this team? I don't think so. What are we doing?
Not yet. I mean, I think talking about Bryce with that, I think that's the biggest thing, is being intentional, being yourself. I don't think you can make a guy be something that he's not. And I think with Bryce, I think you obviously know him extremely well. I think he's very intelligent. I think he's very intentional. I think he does things on purpose. And I think he understands situations, and I think he knows what he is and what he isn't. And I think as these guys continue to grow, as they continue to be in the NFL, Bryce had a full off season finally. I think if you're him, you got to be very excited and knowing I got some older guys around me, and he's got Thielen now. Austin Corbett's back. I know he's been banged up. Taylor Moton got the 2 big new inside guys. Chuba Hubbard has really had a really great season last year. So now Bryce, I think he kind of looks around and he's like, now I know who my team is, and I'm sure that makes him a lot more comfortable.
Absolutely. And to pair with all of that, we are going to become us, and we're evaluating every day. What do we look rhythmic on? What does it look like we're playing fast? Because that tells me about their confidence and their focus on the plays. And we'll start to hone that in after we get through this kind of last couple of days going into New England. When we come back, we'll start to just say, okay, these look great. Let's build a couple more of these and those things. And that's where I really look forward to seeing Bryce. Right now, we're just kind of throwing a lot at him, and he's handling it great. But as you know, Luke, there's just certain calls. It's like, man, this is one of our babies. And this other one, that feels like a one-off. So we really got to start to hone in on our core. And I'm excited to see us become us in the next couple weeks. Cool.
Excitement, growth, progress, energy. I don't think anybody's worried about your energy, Coach. We appreciate it. Luke Kuechly, I'm a little worried about you.
I know, I'm dying out here. I'm making a drink.
All right, I'm here with future Hall of Famer Luke Kuechly and the Kuechly before Kuechly, Dan Morgan, the GM of these Carolina Panthers. And I just wish everyone could see you two geeking out over the stars that you've selected. What did you say about Ed Reed and Darryl Green? What's going on?
Yeah, so obviously Pep got into the Hall of Fame this weekend. It was an awesome weekend. I went up there on Saturday. Dan was there on Friday. And Pep had a little party after the induction. And we're there, and you start walking around and seeing guys. And I was always a huge Ed Reed fan. And Ed Reed came in at the end of the party, and I was standing next to a couple guys. I'm like, that's Ed Reed. And they're like, yeah, we know it's Ed Reed. So I didn't go over and say hi to him. But when you go up to Canton like that, there's so many guys that you see that when you grew up you saw him playing. And it was a lot of fun. Obviously, Pep, and I got to see Pep growing up. And then my first time meeting Pep or seeing Pep was when he was in Chicago with the Bears. We played the Bears my rookie year, and they had two guys on the team that I couldn't wait to meet. One of them was Pep, and the other was Urlacher. I was so nervous. It was Julius Peppers. It was like a guy that when you grow up watching football, there's certain guys that you play with on Madden, and Julius Peppers was that guy that was unfair. It was almost like, hey, you guys can't play with Pep. We can play with the Bears, we can play with the Packers, we can play with the Panthers. You can't play with Pep, though, because it's like cheating. So
cheat code.
When Pep came into the locker room that day in 2017 with Thomas, I just remember it, and I was so excited because he was going to be there the next 2 years, and I got to play with a guy like Julius Peppers. It's pretty cool.
I was there on Friday night, and Friday night they, kind of lined all the gold jacket guys up that, came back, that were already inducted, and the guys that they were walking up on stage, I was just like, it was like my childhood was just like flashing like before my eyes. It was, Deion Sanders, Emmitt Smith, Thurman Thomas, Bruce Smith. Like, you have all these guys that you just like looked up to and remember watching on Sunday as a little kid. So it was definitely awesome. And then to be able to play with Julius and, just the type of person he is, the type of player he is, was just like awesome seeing him put that jacket on. And he's in the Hall of Fame, which is awesome and well-deserved.
Sounds like it might have given you some energy. Does that do anything to you to go to Canton?
Definitely is inspiring, and, just from my position as the GM here, like, I want to draft some of those players. Like, I want to be, like, involved with some of those players, and I think we have some of those players out on the field right now.
This is awesome. I love the nostalgia. I'm loving all of this. Dan, you're talking about scouting Luke. You also had a lot to do with acquiring Bryce Young. He's back there. He's having a great camp. I'm hearing from Coach Canales that he's very timely. He knows how to command when he says something, it matters. I love that. How have you noticed his game evolve since maybe last year to this year?
Yeah, obviously, hiring Coach Canales, like, he's been great for Bryce. Bryce is on a mission. Bryce he's laser focused right now. He's having a great camp, really like gelling with his teammates. We have 43 new guys on this roster. Team's coming together. Bryce is one piece of that, and I think he's in for big things. The work ethic, how smart he is, the dedication that he puts into the game. I'm really excited for his future, and I'm excited for the team's future.
You're part of a big turnaround. You were on like a 1-15 team, right?
Yep.
A couple years later, you're in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What does it take as you're sort of shaping this and what you want this big picture thing to do, which is your responsibility?
Yeah.
What is sort of shaping that and how to turn this around?
Yeah, I think obviously we've both been in winning locker rooms, and I think it's all about obviously the people that you have in the building, the type of people that you bring in the building, and the type of players that you infuse in the locker room. And I think it's bringing guys in that love football, love the game, love everything about it. You know, not just Sunday, but they love the process. They love the day-to-day, watching tape, you know, weight room, you know, doing all the little things. And, you know, we're looking for those type of players. And you know, I think if we fill the locker room with those type of guys, that we'll be headed in the right direction.
Sounds
really
like you
soon.
guys need a Kuechly. You had that, you know, you
Yeah.
NFC Championship, NFC chess.
Yep.
Who is Shaq Thompson the Kuechly here? Could he turn that around?
Yeah. Shaq's looking great. Shaq's a leader. You know, he learned from Luke, he learned from Thomas Davis and the guys before, and you know, that's kind of what we have to get like that. You know, we have to draft well, we have to bring the right free agents in, and you know, they have to be good mentors, and you know, that's my job to identify that.
Well, I think what you're saying is exactly what Coach Canales was saying. He said he wants guys with effort, toughness, doing the right thing, run into the football. And I think all that's decisions that you make that has nothing to do with scheme, nothing to do with what kind of player you are. And I think you look at the free agents that you've brought in, I think a lot of those guys are like that. And as a backer, I always like having a bunch of big guys in front of me. So now it's A'Shawn Robinson, Shai Tuttle, Derek Brown. If you're Josie Jewell, if you're Shaq Thompson, if you're Trevin Wallace, our young rookie, they got to be so excited. I'm sure they thanked you for bringing those guys in. So kind of talk about some of those new big guys up front.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like bringing A'Shawn in, you know, that's a big, long guy that can hold the point of attack. And our defense, you know, our front, I think we're really stout. We have Shai Tuttle back at nose tackle. Bringing in a guy like Jadeveon Clowney in, who's a monster against the run and also a really good pass rusher. You know, it's going to allow our linebackers, it's going to allow Josie, it's going to allow Shaq, Trevin Wallace, our rookie that we drafted in the 3rd round out of Kentucky. It's going to let those guys run and make plays, and I'm excited about the direction that we're headed.
We love talking to Coach. He's such an energy guy. Like, I could talk to him for hours. Luke and I were just both sort of mesmerized, buying everything he's selling. You've known him a long time.
Yep.
And now you two plotted this really well, by the way. This situation where you're now the GM and he's the head coach. What has impressed you about him? Or has he taken it to another level? Is there something you're seeing where you're like, oh shit, like head coach Dave Canales is a little bit evolved, progressive,
you know what?
different?
So the thing I know about him is that players are going to want to come play for Dave Canales. The energy that he brings on a day-to-day basis, how fun he makes it out here for the guys in training camp, just the day-to-day. That's what we want as players. You know, we want to play for a coach that inspires us, that we love playing for, and Dave does all that. So I think we're really blessed that he's here and that he's our head coach of the Carolina Panthers.
Is it the little things like Luke got here and he goes, well, the fields are shaped differently. This makes more sense. And Dave's like, yeah, it makes more sense. Is it little things with him too, details? Like, what's the secret to him?
Yeah, he's very detailed, obviously, on the offensive side of the ball. And he has a lot of good people around him too. Brad Idzik, Nate Carroll. He has a really good staff. So, you know, it's not just about Dave Canales, and Dave will tell you that. So he does a really good job of delegating, being a really good leader. He's everything you want in a head coach.
Joe Shane told me, your buddy, that,
Yeah.
you know, I asked him, how stressful is this time for you? Like, do you just get to kick your feet up and relax? And he goes, no, it's very, very stressful. What is your sort of, you know, I would think like draft done, responsibility done. Now, Dave, okay, so what is your task?
Every
right
day
now?
that I walk out here, I'm stressed out. I'm stressed
About
out
what?
about injuries. I just want
We
the
don't talk
guys to
about
stay
that.
healthy.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, we don't talk about it. But inside, deep inside, I'm just like, stay healthy, stay off the ground, like practice smart.
Right.
And again, Coach Canales does a good job of preparing these guys and telling them how he wants the practice tempo on a day-to-day basis. So, but yeah, it's stressful on a day-to-day basis, just in terms of keeping the roster healthy heading into week 1.
Do you and Coach like huddle together and say, this is what we want the culture to be in these
Yeah.
roles? Like, so can you explain sort of maybe what, in one sentence, what would you sort of name that culture?
You know, I think our culture, we want a family type environment, you know, to where we don't just care about the players on the field, we care about the players off the field. We want to see them succeed off the field just as much as we want to see them succeed on the field. So, you know, I think if you care about players like that and you show the love and respect to the guys, I think that runs full circle. And I think that, you know, you get the best out of the guys. So that's the type of environment that we want to create out here.
It's so great because it matters, right, Luke? Like, you know this. You're one of 3 former player GMs that exist. So the fact that you're emphasizing buy-in, caring about the player, being I would call player friendly.
Yeah.
As an organization like that, is that something that was, I don't want to say missing here, but how great is it to have that right now?
I think the biggest thing is it's celebrated, and you got to have the guys. Your best players should be your best guys, and that was kind of being my next question for you. On both sides of the ball, who are some of those guys that you point to and you're like, hey, we need those guys. We need more guys like that.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of those guys.
Yeah.
You know, I think you look at Derek Brown, you know, give him a big contract extension in the offseason, you would never know. I mean, the guy runs to the ball every single play with the same effort he did as a rookie. You know, so guys like him, guys like Ashawn Robinson, really good leaders. Xavier Woods on the back end. On the offensive side, Deontay Johnson's been great. Great leader there. Adam Thielen. I mean, Chuba Hubbard. Like, there's so many guys that have that work ethic and just the type of people that we want to have around here.
And I think Chuba's a great example of a guy that last year Miles Sanders comes in, pay him a big contract.
Yeah.
Chuba beats him out and plays the majority of the year, has a fantastic year, and you watch him play, and he's so physical, and he'll do whatever you want him to do. Another guy, Sam Franklin. I know he just hurt his foot last week at practice, but a guy that, like, when you watch him play, you love how he attacks the ball. He's a special teams guy, but he takes it super seriously. Are there any other guys that aren't our Jadeveon Clowney, Shaq Thompson, Derek Browns, Ashawn Robinsons, that are kind of like the middle of the roster type guys that you're like, hey, we need some more guys that help their team like that?
He's like surveying the
field.
Let's take a look.
Let me look back. I think we have a lot of guys like that. Like, even rookies. Like, just because you're a rookie doesn't mean you can't be a leader. You know, and I think that's kind of what we emphasize out here too. Like, just because you're a rookie, like, don't just sit in the back. Like, you can be a leader. You can be a leader in your own way. Yeah, you don't have to get in front of the team and, like, you know, give a speech or whatever, but you can, by the way you run to the ball, by the way your study habits, your practice habits. So that's kind of what we emphasize out here.
Your corners are going to have to take on the Falcons' loaded roster.
Oh, yeah.
You've got, like, you know, Mike Evans to deal with.
Yep.
How competitive is what's going on at corner right now for you?
Yeah, corner, you know, that's a spot. Obviously, you know, we're looking to address all positions and gain as much depth as possible. Obviously, we have J.C. Horn, who I think is one of the top corners in the league, and you know, Dane Jackson on the other side. You know, I think smart, competitive, tough. He's competing his butt off over there, so we're excited about him. And, you know, Troy Hill in the nickel. You know, obviously he's a veteran presence that, you know, is very dependable in there. So obviously, you know, I feel like we have some good depth players. We'll continue to get better at every area of the roster. We're going to scour the waiver wire. 53-man cutdowns coming up, so we're going to be active, we're going to be aggressive, and we're going to try to make this roster one of the best in the NFL.
You've got a lot of decisions to make. I'm so appreciative of your time. I'm really looking forward to the culture. Family first, I don't know, inclusive, progressive. The energy is just a 10 out of 10 here, Luke, and I know that means a lot to you.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate it.
Thanks
you.
for having me.
Thank you for being here. You're the best. Can't wait to see what goes on out there. I'll try to keep him off the field. I don't know if I'm going to be successful.
We want him on the field. We want him talking to the players and spreading knowledge.
Okay, well, then I'll let you loose. Great.
Cool.
Oh, and practice is starting.